Sochi is a city of contrasts. Old Soviet architecture and modern Olympic venues exist side by side. Long seaside promenades lead to amusement parks. And the sea is always balanced by the mountains in the background. This video is our walk through the city and its atmosphere. We've been to Sochi several times before, but almost always just passing through on our way to the mountains. The city itself somehow stayed in the background, and at some point we realized that we wanted to take a closer look at it. In March 2020, back when we still naively believed that nothing serious was about to happen, we finally decided to explore Sochi itself for the first time. We've been here together with Dasha, and while the mountains and nature deserves a separate story, this one is about the city. Of course, we started with the Black Sea, just to slow down, breathe in the salty air, and listen to the waves breaking on the shore. There are several pleasant spots along the coast, especially near the Dendrological Garden, that I'll show a bit later. In some places, you can sit under the trees, enjoy the view, and stay slightly away from the busy promenade. It mostly turns into a long line of small cafes and souvenir shops, at least until you reach the very end of the embankment. This is where the lighthouse and the pier are located, and where the city finally starts to feel like a port, with yachts and fishermen busy with their lines right in front of the old port terminal. A quiet reminder of Sochi's Soviet past. Another good place for a walk, especially after a midday coffee, is located near the port terminal, Novaginskaya Street. It's one of the favorite walking spots for both locals and tourists, decorated with lights and installations, and filled with greenery, including palm trees, so typical for the Black Sea coast. Since the promenade is quite long, we decided to rent scooters, a type of transport we used a lot during this trip, and ride along the street, which turned out to be perfect for it. We reached the old train station and then turned back toward Riviera Park, located, as its name suggests, close to the sea. The park was founded in 1898 by the industrialist Vasily Khudov, and inside it you can find an interesting building. His country house once stood on this very spot. During a later reconstruction of the park, a new building was constructed, echoing the appearance of the original mansion. Another place worth stopping by is the old Panorama restaurant. From here, a full 360-degree view opens up. The mountains surrounding Sochi on one side and the Black Sea on the other. By the end of the day, we found ourselves in the Dendro Park, a botanical garden known for its collection of rare trees and plants. Here you can find different kinds of palms and even a small bamboo forest. But the best thing about this place is its location, almost right by the sea. This is where we quietly wrapped up our day in Sochi, watching the sunset over the water. The next day, we drove to the edge of the city, to visit the Ordzhonikidze Sanatorium, located not far from the sea. Built in 1937, it survived World War II and even appeared later in a Soviet film, before being abandoned in 2011. Today, this neglect gives the place a special charm. Overgrown paths, ivy climbing the columns, and a quiet, almost meditative walk through what was once a prestigious resort. At the heart of the complex stands a once grand fountain, now silent, setting the tone for the entire place, where Soviet grandeur slowly fades into subtropical nature. In the evening, with another sunset unfolding along the way, we headed to Adler, a nearby town that many still consider a part of Sochi. Since 2014, it has been known worldwide as the site of the 22nd Winter Olympic Games. And this is where the main stadium and the Olympic flame were built. The area is vast, so once again we rented scooters and went exploring. Besides the central stadium, there are also hockey and ice arenas, and several other large buildings. The scale of the place, and the fact that almost nothing stood here before, still amazes me. At the same time, apart from the wide open spaces perfect for scooters, where we rode together with my wife and my mom, who joined us on this trip, there isn't much here that truly holds your attention. Except for one thing, the view. From the shore, you can see both the Caucasian Mountains and the Black Sea at the same time, with the stadium still visible in the distance. It's a perfect place to slow down, sit by the water, or walk along the promenade, which is especially popular with tourists. This is where you really feel how unique the location is. The sea on one side, the mountains on the other. And where there's the sea, there is always a chance to spot dolphins playing in the waves. This view and another spectacular sunset became the quiet ending of our day. On our last day, we decided to visit the local amusement park, Sochi Park. It's clearly inspired by Disneyland, with its cartoonish houses and an impressive number of roller coasters. I'm not really a fan of this kind of entertainment, but my wife definitely is. So, we started with the most hardcore ride, Quantum Leap. I honestly thought it wouldn't be that scary, but in the end I almost passed out from the overload.
Охренеть. Видно, как ноги подгибаются? Как тебе?
Классно.
Ой, классно. Видал я такие аттракционы.
Another memorable attraction was the Drop Tower, a classic ride where you slowly rise up, take in the views around, and then experience something very close to freefall. The park itself is designed around fairy tales and cartoons. Some of them feel just as scary as the rides we tried, while others are clearly aimed at kids, with gentler attractions and rocking rides. The territory is quite large, with plenty of space to walk around and catch your breath after another adrenaline rush, taking short breaks between rides before heading to the next one. After all the thrills, we felt it was time to slow down. The old school rides zone turned out to be the perfect place for that. Here, you can easily travel back in time. And we chose the classic carousel with horses, probably the simplest and the most honest way to feel like a kid again, sharing these moments of joy together. As night approached, artists began gathering people toward the main square near the park's fountain. What followed was a small evening show for children with clowns, mimes, and simple magic tricks, ending the day in this park that gently brings you back to childhood. In the end, Sochi and Adler feel like a typical Caucasian city with a coastal character. Long seaside promenades, traces of Soviet architecture, and modern hotels standing side by side. Still, it's a great place to step away from everyday routine, thanks to the sea itself and the incredible nature surrounding the city. That part deserves a separate story, which I'll tell you next time. So don't forget, the world is not in all these books, videos and maps. It's right behind the door.